Hello guys, welcome to Learning Microcontrollers. In this lecture, I will be telling you about why HDL matters, understanding the importance of hardware description language. So let's get started. So guys, what is HDL? HDL stands for Hardware Descriptive Language. Usually, what we do is that we do the coding and programming of microcontroller. The word programming is not suitable for FPGA type chips because FPGA chip do not get programmed. We basically describe the hardware what to do. For that we use HDLs, not programming language, called Verilog or VHDL. That's why HDL is a different thing, and in this lecture you will know how. So used to design and simulate digital hardware system like its name suggests, hardware descriptive language. Basically we describe the hardware what to do. It is like simulating the hardware directly or modeling the hardware. Popular HDLs are like Verilog and VHDL. We will learn about Verilog later on. Then widely used in FPGA and ASIC designs because Verilog is directly connected to the hardware. It is like making the gates, making the flip-flops, making the sequential or combination designs like mux, adder, etc. directly on hand, unlike the coding. So why traditional programming is not enough? Like why we need the HDL? Why we cannot just go with C and C++ here? Why Verilog? Why VHDL? Why we came to HDLs when we do have programming languages? Why the hardware descriptive languages were needed? Because C, C++, and Python execute instructions sequentially, while many techniques like making a mux or an adder requires you to do the processing in parallel. Digital hardware works in parallel, that is a problem. While we can do jumping in C and C++, we can go with a multi-core processing or something like that, but we cannot design the hardware in parallel using the sequential environment of C and C++ or Python, etc. So that's why we need to go with something else, and those were the hardware description languages. Hardware description language describe actual hardware behavior and used to model gates, flip-flop counters, processor, etc. Gates, half adders, full adders, mux, etc. And then we combine these things to make new hardware designs. So basically we directly describe the hardware what to do, and the architecture is not fixed. It's up to us to design. Even the microcontroller itself is designed using an HDL. Then guys, HDL enables hardware design. Like I told you, on the microcontroller we only do the programming, but who designs that microcontroller, the architecture, is HDL guys. Create digital circuit using code. Like unlike HDL, like you are not directly making a hardware on the HDL, you are basically coding, and coding is generating the hardware in the background, which later you can just use a VLSI, very large scale integrated circuit technology, to bring it to a chip. Now now you see a circuit on your hand, but what is inside those chips, small chips? We know our chip are 8-pin IC, 40-pin IC, but what is inside that architecture? That architecture is designed using the HDL. Now, design combination of sequential logics, and then we keep on going with these like adders, subtractors, full adders, half adder, mux, flip-flops, latches, etc., which combine together to make a combination of sequential logic for us, for our desired purposes. Now, this is used to develop CPUs, controllers, and communication systems, convert HDL code into real hardware. Simulation before hardware, that is one of the key feature of HDLs. That test design before building physical circuit, like before transferring anything to the chip, which is expensive and very hard working process is required to make those chips. We can like test them using the hardware descriptive language, because we are describing the hardware what to do. We can use the simulations, etc., to get the results that will this work or not. Detects bugs early, save development cost and time. Use tools like EDA playground for instant simulation. Like you can just design a Verilog code, go to your EDA playground, run it online, and see if there is any error or not. Now, importance in FPGA development. Now, FPGA CPLDs have been very common in the world, and they are being used to like run multiple type of machinery. Every like military, commercial, civil machinery do have FPGA chips in the back end, and FPGA board require HDL based programming. FPGA directly works on the HDL. It cannot be programmed using C or C++ languages like Vivado, Xilinx Vivado, Quartus of Altera, and then EDA Playground, etc. They allow you to use their tools to write the HDL code, and HDLs include Verilog or VHDL, whichever you choose, or system Verilog as well for the test benches. Then you use those environment to implement your HDL onto these boards. Now, before going to the board, you can like simulate them on the software, etc. So this makes your life way easier than directly building the hardware. Used in robotic, IoT, AI accelerator, embedded system, and a number of other applications. HDL controls how hardware physically behaves. As now again back to the name. HDL stands for Hardware Descriptive Language. Basically, it describes the hardware what to do. It is not programming. Do not call it programming. Essential skill for FPGA engineers. Importance in ASICs and VLSI industry. ASIC chips are designed using HDL. ASICs are those chips like you go to the market and you buy an AND gate IC. AND gate IC have an architecture built into it. Now, since using the AND gate, you don't have to program it, it have a specific purpose. Similarly, there is an NE555 timer IC, there is other ICs like ADC module ICs, etc. All those have a built-in architecture. These architectures are also designed with the HDL for a specific purpose. These we call ASICs, which are designed for the specific purpose like AND gate, OR gate, NOR gate, timer ICs, shift register ICs you find in the market. They all are ASICs. And they are designed using HDL as well. Like ASICs are cheap. If we were to design a chip for specific purpose, then it was to be too costly. They design it and then they mass produce it. So ASICs become very cheap, and they are also designed using the HDLs. Used in Intel, QMD, NVIDIA, AMD, NVIDIA, Qualcomm, and many tech companies. Foundation of modern semiconductor industry is based on the HDL. Required for RTL design, register transistor logic, and verification carriers. Like we do the Verilog coding, we call it RTL Verilog. So that's why RTL is important. And then there are test benches. For the test benches, there is a verification engineer which takes your Verilog code and then writes his own test bench and connects the variables together, then gives value in the test bench. He do not modify your code to test it. He just writes another code and connects your code ports to his code using the variables ports connection. We will see that in the EDA Playground examples we will do later. Now, there is something called parallelism in HDL. Unlike the microcontroller or C++ or like Arduino, like even the computer programming as well, they were based on sequential type of stuff, like they require clock. Whenever we talk about the specs of your computer, we say it have 3.5 gigahertz processor. 3.5 gigahertz is the speed of the processor. Now that is the problem. Because there is a clock involved, so the things cannot be done in parallel. Things will be executed either at the rising or the falling edge of the clock. While many combinational or sequential circuits required us to be able to use them at any interval. Like we want to make a mux, then value of A and B can come at any time. We have to make such a system where clock is not involved or may be involved, or multiple combination of sequential blocks need to be integrated to make a good circuit. Combinational blocks usually do not use a clock, while sequential blocks like our clock oriented system requires clock. So multiple hardware blocks run simultaneously. It can be combinational, it can be sequential block. They all will run in parallel in the HDL, making a very powerful system or whatever device you want to make. HDL naturally supports parallel operation. That is one of the major requirements for the FPGA operations as well. Improve speed and efficiency, critical for high performance digital systems. Real world applications. Microprocessors, they are basically made using HDL. CPUs are made using HDL. Memory controllers are made using HDLs. Communication system, automotive electronic, consumer electronic, smartphones. Learning HDL open careers. Like if you learn the HDL, you can be an FPGA engineer, RTL design engineer, verification engineer, which uses a test bench. We will use a lot of test bench in later lectures. On the EDA Playground, that is the job of the verification engineer, to write the test bench to test the design of a RTL Verilog engineer's work. And then embedded hardware engineer as well, because later on the Verilog code you wrote must be converted to VLSI based chip design stuff. Like it will go to VLSI, very large scale integrated circuitry, and then we will make a chip out of it, and then we will test that chip, etc. So it will lead you to a hardware. And VLSI design engineer jobs as well are included. Then finally, why learn Verilog with EDA Playground? Why I am selecting the EDA Playground? Because no software installation needed. Like if I go with the Quartus or with some other tool like Altera Squatta, Xilinx Vivado, or Xilinx ISC, then they are heavy software. You need to install them, and then you need either you need to buy or you need a crack. Which buying it is difficult for a new buy, and to crack it is something I don't recommend. It's illegal. Also, it's not morally good. Until they themselves give you an educational vision, then that's something else. Okay, for this, EDA Playground is totally free. No software installation required. It's online. You do not need a very powerful system. You don't need a lot of RAM. You don't need anything. You just go and you just start it. Nowadays, RAM has become too expensive as well. If you want to use those softwares, then you need a lot of RAM. They require a lot of RAM to execute or compile your HDL Verilog codes. So this software works online, and it's like compilers are somewhere else. You do not need very powerful computer. You just need a good internet, and that's all. Browser based simulation. See, you can use the simulation on the browser. You do not need to download stuff. Easy for beginners, fast experimentation and testing, and for beginners as well. It is also good for advanced programmers as well, because it allows you to use a commercial synthesizers and commercial simulators like Cadence, like Siemens Synopsys, Icarus, GHDL, Verilator, etc. as well. They all are available over there. Fast experimentation and testing, like it works quickly, etc. So, conclusion: HDL is a language of digital hardware essential for modern electronic and chip design. See, as the name suggests, again we come back to the name HDL, higher descriptive language. It is basically not a programming. We describe the hardware what to do. It is direct hardware descriptive language. As the name suggests, H is hardware. Essential for modern electronics and chip design. As I told you, your ASICs, your CPUs, your microcontrollers, all are designed on it, because VLSI, we design chips. Like chip design industry is growing everywhere in the world. Chips are basically designed using the HDL. So HDL will have great importance in the future. Simulation makes development safer and faster. Like you can simulate your results before making the hardware, and then learning HDL builds strong engineering foundations as well. So guys, this is it. I hope you guys learned something from this lecture. If you have any questions, please do ask. We'll see you in the next lecture. Goodbye until then.